More than 6,400 people were murdered in South Africa in just 3 months, according to the latest quarterly crime statistics released by Police Minister Bheki Cele in Pretoria. It represents an increase of 664 murders compared to the same period last year. 2 police stations, one in KZN and another in the Eastern Cape, recorded the highest number of killings.
The number of murders in this country remains high and worrisome. 6,424 people were killed by other persons in South Africa in the first quarter of 2022-2023 financial year. This is an increase of 664 more people murdered compared to the same period last year, when the country was placed under COVID-19 lockdown level 1 and 2. The 3 main causes of murders remain arguments and misunderstanding. Retaliation and revenge murders were second motive for murder, and vigilantism was the third most likely cause of murder in South Africa. The Umlazi Police Station in KwaZulu-Natal and Umtata Station in Eastern Cape registered their highest murder cases during this period. 221 murder cases were reported in those 3 areas combined.
The country has also recorded over 9,500 rapes. These are reported rape cases in that first quarter of the year, 800 cases fewer than during the same period last year. Well, despite that drop, the police minister says the number remains much too high. Cele has also announced today that almost 4,000 of those rapes happened at either the home of the survivor or the attacker.
The first quarter of 2022-23 financial year shows decreases in the total sexual offences such as rape, sexual assault, attempted sexual offences and conduct sexual offences. This means there was a drop of over 800 cases of sexual offences that are far more often perpetrated on women. Rape itself, 9,516 rape cases were opened with SEPs between April and June 2022. This is almost 500 less rape cases reported compared to the same period last year. While rape cases declined in all provinces, the Northwest and Northern Cape provinces are the only provinces to report increases in this crime category. 3,780 of the rapes took place in the homes of the rapist or home of the victim. 1,546 people were raped in public places such as streets, parks and beaches. Public transportation such as buses, taxis and trains are third most likely places of occurrence for rape cases.
Let's get you more on that story. Bring in our reporter Tumaole Mohlaoli, who's been attending that briefing by the police minister and the rest of SAPS management. Tumaole, so we've looked at the numbers as far as the murder and rape statistics for the quarter under review, April to June of this year. What are police going to do to address the problem?
A very good afternoon, Bheki Cele. Well, in terms of what police are saying in terms of the murder statistics specifically, when you look at the killings, what is of concern is the police killings. Of course, Police Minister Bheki Cele raised was that fighting crime has also come at a great cost to those men and women in blue. And we're looking at about 18 police officers were killed during this particular reporting period. This is something of a concern to Bheki Cele because he says that it shows that there is certainly a high level of lawlessness and people can take on the men and women in blue who are meant to enforce the law. And when you look at the issues of firearms that are involved in these particular murders and killings, we're looking at, of course, 2,766 people that were shot dead during this reporting period. And this is something of great concern. Again, the proliferation of illegal firearms is something that the police minister is concerned about, calling on officers to do everything to ensure that they can seize those arms, but also calling on community members to come forward with information when they do know how they can assist the police in terms of identifying those people who are perpetrators in the communities. When we look at, of course, 912 KwaZulu-Natal murders as a result of firearms. that's quite high. And when you look at the issue of 498 people were killed or died from gunshot wounds in the Western Cape province. Now, these stats show that during that reporting period, the proliferation of arms certainly has had a big impact in terms of safety and security and on the loss of lives. But also the multiple murders. The police are investigating 284 dockets of multiple murders with 664 victims in that reporting period. So this paints a picture of certainly a country that is struggling with the issue of murders. But then the subcategory under those murders also falls under gender-based violence. And when it comes to the issue of robbery and the issue of assault, GBV, this is also one of those issues that are concerned. Of course, Police Minister Bheki Cele says that resources are a problem and continue to be a challenge, even though more officers are going to be enlisted into the SAPS. He says that it's now up to the community to also do its part and to assist the police, particularly in the reporting of crime.
Tumaole, Mohlaoli for us in Pretoria. Thank you very much for that update.